Fellas, we are diving into the rabbit hole of fusion rifles. We've had nerfs, we've had buffs, and a lot of very vague language from Bungie when it comes to patch notes. Now, we do plan on diving very deeply into all fusion rifles, but I wanted to start with Bastion, most notably because it is the most annoying fusion rifle outside of maybe, I don't know, Jotun. It's kind of a toss-up between like Telesto, Jotun, and Bastion on which one of those exotic fusion rifles is actually the most annoying. Now, in Sandbox Update 3.1.0, which was just a month ago, fusion rifle damage fall off actually got an increase. Essentially stated right here, increased fusion rifle damage fall off start distance by an increased amount based on your range. Now, it would scale from 6% at the lowest end at 0 range and 16% at the highest end at 100 range. So essentially, Bungie's trying to make the range stat matter more. They also reduced the camera movement from firing a fusion rifle by 9.5%, which might affect other fusion rifles, but for the most part, on Bastion, I just don't notice a difference here. Granted, this is kind of a strange fusion rifle considering it comes with the exotic trait Saint's Fist, where it actually fires 3 spreads of kinetic slugs, which does a hell of a lot of damage. Only one of the 3 volleys needs to land in order to secure a kill, which is why Bastion has actually been one of the best weapons for shutting down supers outside of maybe stasis related supers, because you just get frozen. Now, for the longest time, people have been asking for Bastion to get nerfed, which kind of blows my mind. If we look back to last March, fusion rifles had a substantial nerf. Essentially stated right here, target acquisition for fusion rifles had been adjusted to no longer account for precision locations. Now, this was kind of a buff as the weapon was previously being dragged over to like the crit area of a target. And for a fusion rifle, you just want to land body shots, right? That's all you need to do. It doesn't actually do crit damage. So this would actually cause your fusion rifle to miss some of its bolts, or in Bastion's case, some of its kinetic slugs. However, the big nerf, and this has been a pretty substantial nerf, damage fall off for this weapon archetype can now floor at 0.5 times. Previously, it was 0.75 times. Essentially, guys, the damage fall off is just much steeper. So think of this most recent patch as like a way to counter the nerf that Bungie handed out last year. But was it enough? Well, in comparison to the previous sandbox, Bastion used to be able to secure a kill at 16.5 meters. Now, this was after last year's nerf. Previously, it could actually secure a kill at 20 meters. So about a 3 to 4 meter reduction from that nerf. That's how severe it was. And again, that's 16.5 meters, perfectly landing all 3 volleys. Damage fall off started way before then. With the most recent change though, in update 3.1, Bastion specifically doesn't actually begin to experience damage fall off until around 16 meters, a little under that, somewhere around 15.5, 16, which means the kill range now is back up to 19 meters. Still less than that of what it was pre-nerf last year in March 2020, but way better than where it was pre 3.1. Now, granted, in order to actually secure a kill at that range, all 3 volleys have to make contact. So even though we are able to secure a kill at 19 meters, look at the damage difference from when Bastion was first released to us. Notice we have like 20, 21, 22 damage per bolt here at 19 meters. And then today, we're sitting at 16 and 15. We're talking nearly a difference of 46 to 47% difference there in damage, which Bastion at its release only required 10 shots of that volley to actually land, which is like less than 50% of each actual volley. And that's like securing a kill 20 meters on damn near max resilience guardians at a 50% accuracy level. Now though, even despite this buff, which I can't complain because again, it is much better than where it was before after the fusion rifle nerfs. Now you have to land somewhere around 13 to 14 of those shots within those 3 volleys in order to secure a kill. So nearly 70% of this entire volley spread has to make contact in order to secure a kill. That's why when people are like, yo, Bastion's OP, it's broken, it's busted. Not really. Again, kind of falls in line with like Jotun or maybe even Telesto, right? Annoying, but definitely not on the overpower spectrum. Because even though you can reach that 19 meter level, that's only really on an opponent that's actually standing still and not shooting at you. When you have an opponent that's actually moving, that's shooting you, that's introducing flinch into that gunfight, I did notice my Bastion shot really start to deviate, resulting in me not securing the 1 hit. And even though it does have a 780 charge time, which is actually pretty forgiving in comparison to like high impacts or things like Merciless, if you miss though, you're pretty much screwed. And considering today's meta, it's a good chance whoever it is that you're dealing with probably has a fell winner that's about to get shoved down your throat. And like on the grand scale of things, like we just reviewed Duality, and by the way, check out that review. Duality is doing much better in this sandbox. Duality reaches up to about 12 and a half meters. Chaperone, easily 13 meters, not even including Roadborne. And that's consistent kill range. And things like Fellwinter and Astral can kill at about 9 meters. The thing about fusion rifles is you do have to bait your enemy. You have to play patiently and then pray that you don't miss any of your shots, as there's a good chance you'll be punished with a shotgun. Now, Bastion is not the furthest reaching fusion rifle. Again, on the grand scale of things, when looking amongst fusion rifles, Bastion's range is actually on the low side, sitting at 42, which means it doesn't really get all the benefits from this most recent change to fusion rifles. Now, the fusions that actually benefited the most were, of course, your high impact fusions. Aranto actually still feels pretty good, and we're going to review that again coming up. Precision frames, which inherently have really good range, probably benefit even more than some of our high impacts. So even though this is somewhere around like a 2.5 meter buff here to Bastion, it should be more so with some of our other fusion rifles that roll with substantially higher range. Where Bastion falls in line is kind of where it was before, but not as strong as when it was first released to us. It is a fantastic special weapon at dealing with opponents that are using a shotgun, that are trying to ape you. Realistically, even though it can kill up to 18-19 meters, due to that damage fall off being so steep and so severe, I would keep those gunfights around 16 meters if possible. Now, interestingly enough, after playing with Bastion and just trying to see what its kill range can actually be, I found that fusion rifle targeting really did help. And this is something that, of course, helps all fusion rifles, but it seems to be more noticeable here on Bastion due to that 3-burst volley. Something about that increased target acquisition as well as that accuracy allowed it to just kind of stay on point, which roughly added a more consistent one-hit kill potential by about half a meter. Another thing that's also really valuable, despite this weapon having a pretty quick charge time, you will be aiming down sights for just a brief moment, and if your opponent is sitting there backing up hitting you with a 120, it's a good chance you're going to be over flinch. Hands down, guys, having unflinching fusion rifle aim really did help me here. So overall, guys, yes, Bastion is feeling better. It is killing further than what it was doing before. And for my folks that were saying Bastion should have got nerfed, it did. It actually did, pretty substantially. I mean, going from a one-hit kill range of around 20 meters to 16 and a half meters, that's a pretty big drop, especially when you start to factor in how steep that damage fall off is for all fusions. But here for Bastion, I think it's in a much forgiving territory now. It's 100% an extremely annoying weapon to go against, especially for the player that actually plays patiently with it. But look, man, that's the thing with all weapons that can outplay you, right? There's a certain mindset that I feel like some of us get into when we have metas that's been deeply rooted as they are now. 120 round per minute hand cannons, aggressive frame shotguns like Astral Horizon or Fellwinter's Lie. A lot of those complaints seem to erupt from players that just don't like going up against anything outside of what they're used to. Weapons like Bastion do present an unorthodox playstyle that can be difficult to go up against, although very easily countered. And I think the biggest counter to all fusion rifles is just listening for the pre-charge. Knowing when to peak, that pre-charge cue, that noise is a dead giveaway of when you need to dip back into cover. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.